But so I can talk beside. I mean, this is an awful house. So, secure tender since 2009. Unfortunately, my health isn't 100% still. It's 5 weeks in. Did my best to counterclaim to the agents of a national housing company, and they ignored all of my emails leading up to the last emails and phone calls was Tuesday the 9th of December 2025. I was in hospital, period, October, November. I did not consent to a care company contracted by behind me building. Public funded county council limited company is offered in the NHS trust. It's set up as a limited company too. So all these years I've been here, the terms, conditions of the contract, and the circumstances how I ended up here. This all to trigger and trauma me again, traumatization. So my physical disabilities, I don't know what they did to me in hospital, but my legs are not as good, and this lung infection is not cleared up, so I have not physically been able to deal with phone calls, let alone emails, and to respond to the assumptions. Point-to-point dates is fabricated by the National Housing Company agents and local and individual in my area. No way did a guy called Wayne allow that housing agent in my home on the date claimed. It was in the car park, so I keep a log of all these things, a diary. Went through a diary and dates and checked everything. And the date of that letter is typeset, wrongly typeset. It's computer generated. And the threats to take me for breach of contract, which is not correct because they will use statute law. I've never denied a lawful entry to my private dwelling. Afternoon appointments, 7 days, working days later since I've been living there. And since I got complex and private life friends trying to care for me, what they don't like, since I got out of hospital, is my private life friends being retaken over on Saturday the 8th of November 2025. You see, the cold calling by these public servants is unlawful. That's harassment at my front door and hallway. I had a private life friend in my kitchen, witnessing, hearing what was said. And again, it's like back in 2017 and 2018, see the colour of that light? Weird, isn't it? That light bulb emissions. So, they refused to repair. 1 minute it's like, you can't live here, and it needs to be all gutted out. So you cannot, it's a concrete floor. So the lady before me was disabled. They just put the lino down on the water floor, covered it all up. Because when I reported everything and it was all inspected and the flooring company, I've got a good memory, came to pick up the flooring. They found it was never a wet room to start with, so I was let this place with false potential, false grounds. I've tried to do a lot of recycling on the left side, but my 5 weeks of not being well is not helping. I'm censored on the internet and phone, etc. I can't do anything today. I've got to go back to bed to lay back down. I haven't been able to take the off of a new wheelchair because, this is the key points. The National Housing Company, Home Care Limited, should know this, their agents. The equality duty, disability reasonable adjustments, the Equality Statute Act 2010. I've got evidence email refusing to offer that. So that was my lawful rights. And that I'm paying like the rent pays the service charges, and these companies, their wages, their agents, the third party companies, towards that. So to add alarm and distress, there's other areas too. So to imply that I'm required to get back in 7 days when I'm not physically well, and then I've like 2018 to date been offering always counterclaim dates, offers, times, etc. Letters, emails. So when Wayne cleared out my flat, helped recycle things, helped me do things, a lot of paperwork went, but it's still very good memory and safe certain things. So when is the assumption made is a rebuttal to that claim. I'm not in breach of their clause of access, never have. They're the ones sending people around when I'm asleep, bedbound, can't walk. In the mornings, know full well, any of the services in England, no matter what it may be, public funded, private, it's always after 2 p.m. An agreeable 7 working days notice and full disclosure requirements. So it never happened when I was in hospital because she's just seen as like a number. And I was dealing with the DWP Limited Company. So they would target me constantly since before I moved here and in more than ever you can imagine in different ways. And using people around me widely to do it. I won't say who he is, but he lives right next door. And he's connected to certain people pushing the boat and all this. They just want me out the way. So they're trying to get me on many avenues, and it's not correct. The condition of this place, I've lost the use of my bathroom. The shower, etc., for my disability needs, etc., since 2018. I've been negotiating from that date and then up to the lockdowns and 2020, 2021, to, come in and do the work. But I'm going to say, but in that period back then, I've got all these old emails and my old email address too. That it was like first Opry Hotel, it would take such and such a time. I said, how's my medical equipment going to get to the hotel? How's my care needs going to be catered for there? And I found in 2017 those individuals in the housing company had lied. They weren't nothing but in a hotel. Nothing. And then obviously the former known county council limited company, it went bust. So, I mean, what else can I do? I will be homeless, been hospital, discharged, and been harassed. 14 men on me that will trigger the PTSD. My physical care needs, how is that going to be catered for? I'll be bedbound. Who's going to cater my personal private needs when I'm bedbound? An unknown workman using my key safe code to get to my flat. Excuse me. So I've had this lung infection now for 5 weeks, so I've been very, very poorly. I've not been able to do emails and letters and stuff. And this matter, I've got all the evidence I need to show yet again the clauses, the terms, conditions of this contract, renting this flat, and social housing, you call it, I suppose. But yet they block safe access in my wheelchair in the main two doors they put in. So the new wheelchair assessment, I can't take on the new wheelchair I need because it's dangerous. The housing management company locally to me failed to make sure the company they hired put the it's called automated doors, to open and close with a new system, and the disabled access site where I live in this block, excuse me, that panel doesn't work. So it's not just a flat, it's the actual access inside the main building and get in and out. So I'm being pushed out unlawfully, and this is like, no matter what I've done, I just can't get anywhere now. So I just got to go back to bed and rest and try. And it's a weekend, can't do much over the weekend now, and trying to put the onus on me. I wasn't around. The ill health last year started really mid of August when the planned works in the area began. Apparently then, I didn't even know this until I got home from hospital. All these letters and cards dated around October period was when I was in hospital. So their letter, the housing management letter, quoting their dates, are incorrect as well, because I was in hospital, and certain dates and quotations and claims is incorrect too, because I was on the ward in hospital, so it's all hearsay, a lot of it. Yeah, so unfortunately, I just wish there was an opportunity to be able to get a passport and then have a break away from it all. Just get a break. I mean, I went through all this in 2018 and negotiated the former council, the agents then, the meetings, etc. I'll pay half towards the hotel, and how would they get my medical equipment there, and my temporary care needs sorted for the period of time I need. And how am I guaranteed that it's not going to take longer than a week, or to do the job? So that within UK, what's known as the Care Act, Stature Act, is it 2014 or something else? Clauses and so forth they use. I produce you to make sure you're in safe housing and compound that. But the way it's gone about it, you couldn't believe as soon as I got out of hospital and had a chance to recover from that, I had implied to start work from the bathroom out the blue. Monday the 1st of December in the winter 2025, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then implied to use a key safe code then. Yeah? And then said it would take a week, estimated, no guarantee. But I have not been provided the names of the companies involved. Yeah, this will be the company dealing with that job. This is the company that will be dealing with that part. Because it's like electricians, plumbers, work, flooring, carpentry, for example. And then plumbers, surely, for the tiling. 3 days to do that? No. I think it would take longer. It's assumption 3 days. And no doubt they'll find... Where's my medical equipment? And my hoist going to be placed during that work? All these considerations and needs have not been detailed. I've already detailed this before, and up until when I got out of hospital as I could, and relayed for a friend of mine, Wayne. He hadn't been in contact since December, and nor was my sister, who's in Wales, nowhere near me. So there we are, you see. So just I've got to make sure that I physically keep going best one can. So anyway, I'm not going to talk about it much more, because obviously the breathing in my lungs is difficult, and I've got to try and keep relaxed. Luckily, I've got headphones, blocks out noise. Well, I don't know how they facilitate all the windows, especially in my bedroom. I mean, are they going to do that on a day where they can't do the afternoon? Because I can't get up early in the morning and stay sitting in the washroom all that time. So they haven't even really looked into this. My sister said she's nowhere near me. There's no one here. My private life friends can't deal with this extra responsibility. There's the basic care needs, yeah. But not all this, the work. They can't be here, they struggle. So I'm going to have to sleep on this bit. I've got to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is an awful discrimination by a care company, not care company. Sorry. This said my health is not great. Housing Company UK, Local Agents UK. So I stand up for now.